You're listening to Independent TV 7. Yeah, the headline we have is: will smoke Simon Ekpa out and bring him. He will be arrested just like Nnamdi Kanu. Asari Dokubo. Well, if that is the narrative, then let's see how it goes. Since the arrest of the indigenous people of Biafra leader, IPOB leader, Madam Kanu, it seems that Simon Ekpa has taken over the leadership of the group. The Finland-based self-acclaimed IPOB leader has continued to spread regular Monday seat at home in the southeast, despite the mainstream leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB) suspending the exercise. Several groups, individuals, and state governments have also condemned the seat at home, lamenting its economic implication on the zone. But Ekpa has again asked the people of the southeast to maintain the Monday sit at home ordered, which have drawn a lot of attention from many Nigerians. Asari Dokubo, who is an ex-Niger Delta militant, has said that the same way Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, that is how Simon Ekpa will be smoked out and arrested. Now, in his words, he said Nnamdi Kanu was in the UK, United Kingdom, enjoying himself and commanding his troop to burn, well, kill, and do all manner of things. At the end of the day, after causing so much problem, he was arrested. This is the same way his Prime Minister Simon Ekpa will be arrested also. We will smoke him out and bring him. Now, from this narrative, I think Asari Dokubo, he wants to be known, or rather, he's seeking for an appointment under Tinubu. If, as per saying that Tinubu is the president, then if Tinubu is going to give him appointment, or seeking for appointment, that is number one. Number two, now the so-called Asari Dokubo, in his words, he said Nnamdi Kanu was in the UK enjoying himself and commanding his troops to burn, kill, and do all manner of things. Well, he said all manner of things because I believe Nnamdi Kanu, in his right sense, he wouldn't say, okay, the Eastern people should be killing themselves or fighting one another when they know that they are into business, or they make money through business, or they do not have any either mineral resources or thereabout. But I believe Nnamdi Kanu wouldn't do that. This is the reason why Nnamdi Kanu, floated the security network he floated. I believe he just took up, the narrative of that maybe Nnamdi Kanu is trying to, kill the, let me say the, northern or eastern or whoever something might have been happening to in that region, for them to create a revolution. That is what it is, and their protest is about a new revolution, or rather, the government, as at Buhari's administration, should do better. They should also have a taste of the power, or rather, they should reside wherever they want to reside and do business as they will, because it's under the constitution. But in other words, maybe there are some narratives that made Nnamdi Kanu, keep telling them to be very, very, let me say, coercive, to be very, very vigilant, and also to be disciplined. Now, the narrative is that some persons will rent some persons, you understand, to go and commit havoc, because let me say it's political. I believe it's political because Nnamdi Kanu has never sent his men, or rather his boys, or rather the entity he called IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra. He would never tell them to go and kill anybody. Instead, they said they were the one burning the police station. No. There was a time when Abba Kyari, the former Abba Kyari, DSP, the exonerated Abba Kyari, the one that had issue with Hush Puppy. You understand? When he was the SARS leader, he was same person that was, deployed to the eastern part of the country to go and check the situation. They, or rather, from narrative, said Abba Kyari was the one that, started, diversing crime, making crime to come to that level whereby there won't be disturbed. But we remembered what happened in Lekki Gate. So all these things, the narrative around that scenario, you should know that it is political. So in other words, those that are burning fuel stations, burning police stations, burning stations by station, killing themselves. One of them was called. They said it was a member. He was a member of IPOB. He was interviewed. What's your name? Well, in his words, he said his name is either Ifeanyi or Ikechukwu or thereabout, but the tone and sound is sounding like a Fulani. That is what it is. But now, some of them were the IPOB in scripted clothes, writing indigenous people of Biafra, they will line up in numbers, trying to do all sorts of things as hoodlums. Now, if anybody sees them on that attire, they believe, oh, this is IPOB truly. Well, from the narrative, I believe the Finland-based self-acclaimed IPOB leader has continued to spearhead regular Monday sit-at-home in the southeast, despite the mainstream leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, suspending the exercise. Well, I don't know if that is the case. But in other words, I believe Simon Ekpa is here to settle with Nnamdi Kanu on the IPOB leadership or thereabout, because Nnamdi Kanu has never handed over to anybody. But he can act like the acting leader or thereabout. But with the sit at home Monday still persist. There have never been any time the sit at home from Monday, rescheduled to Wednesday or thereabout, because according to the Finland based, the Simon Ekpa, he said he wanted the sit at home to, still happen maybe either on Monday, Wednesday, any other day. But since that has stuck into their head, an agreement is that until Nnamdi Kanu is being released, before they will stop the sit at home. And the sit at home is not just because they want to sit at home. A typical Igbo man will never sit at home. Rather, he would make money. But on this note, they believe they have formed a formidable force, an agreement that until Nnamdi Kanu is being released, then the sit at home will stop. Between the five eastern states, Enugu, Imo, Anambra, Ebonyi, like that. So they agreed to, stand as one, because Nnamdi Kanu to them is fighting for a good governance. He's fighting for revolution. In other words, self-determination, because they are self-determined. So he's fighting for self-determination, for a good governance, and also for a revolution, so that the country, or if the Igbos cannot have their, their own rules, or their own law, or their own rights, then they should, excuse Nigeria. That's what they believe. But on the other hand, narrative came in. Nnamdi Kanu was not even enjoying in the United Kingdom. Nnamdi Kanu, rather, let's assume he was enjoying in Kenya. It was Kenya, they picked him up. So they call that extraordinary rendition. You understand? Or extra, that's kidnapping, is not arrest. So according to Malami, brought out the information as not the information minister, for he was too curious to handle Nnamdi Kanu, so that Nnamdi Kanu will not tell what the government is also and the antecedent. So decided to, the Nigerian government, at when Buhari was the head of state, in his administration, was when Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, and this has been over 1 year, from one charge to another, so many charges. You understand? In the other words, he was said to have been, discharged and acquitted, and that's what it is. But on the other hand, I believe Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, Asari, Dokubo, they are still in the southwest. So the south, I don't know why Asari Dokubo is of the north to venture into these people's affair. That's what I don't know. Well, this is where I'm going to draw the curtain. I would like you to share your views in the comment section, and don't forget to click the bell icon so that you can subscribe. Yeah, thank you for listening, and God bless you.